Now, we are
Mm.
also really big fans of Grace Kennedy. One of the things that was put out, I think it was a couple of years back, but your
2030
2030
vision.
vision,
Mm.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
very
Hmm.
ambitious, right? Because we most people know of, when I first started investing,
Yeah.
brokers I went to, they listed a few stocks, and that's just the stock that people reel off the tip of their tongue.
Yeah.
Grace Kennedy,
Yes.
other. I'm not gonna mention the other stocks, but
No, no,
just
you
because
don't
you're
need
here.
you don't need to, but you can because we're also talking about the stock exchange, so they're all listed.
Ah,
So don't worry,
okay,
don't
love
worry,
that. Okay,
don't
fair.
worry, don't worry.
Yeah, so they talk about the blue chip stocks, and what that means is, those are just established, businesses, profitable, well
Yeah.
recognized, etc.
Hmm.
And Grace Kennedy is always in the top three that they mention, always,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But when I saw the 2030 vision, I thought this is a very ambitious goal,
Yeah.
to have most of the revenues, 70% of the revenues and
I should
profits
share it.
earned outside of Jamaica, 2 billion US in revenues,
Yeah.
and GKFG and foods, because you spoke about both
Yeah.
arms, right? The financial group
Yeah.
and the foods group, food section, the foods division listed on, different stock exchanges
Yeah.
overseas. We haven't seen a lot. Well, Grace to me has been quiet with certain things, and
Yeah.
I guess it's just these type of things. Is it that based on the macroeconomic factors, the things that are going on throughout the world, high inflation rates, all of those things, are those hindering that vision, that growth, or
Yeah.
is it something else? I'm not sure.
No. Oh, so the 2030 vision is something that our CEO is very, very passionate about. And, he doesn't go anywhere without talking about it. And it's something that is, the kind of excitement that you have, it's something that permeates through our entire organization when we think about it. But I wouldn't say that we're not focused or not or we've been quiet. So what we do, he always says, what gets measured gets done, right? And so we have a chart to our 2030 vision,
Hmm.
and we are held as our team members are accountable to meeting and staying along with that chart. And I think we're well on that trajectory. There are some things that we need to do. He always talks about inorganic activity, acquisitions being a big part of playing a big part of that
Hmm.
ambitious target.
Hmm?
But you know what? When you have a really powerful business with a powerful brand, there's a lot that you can do internally, right? And a big part of what we have been doing is investing in the infrastructure for us to go out and execute, right? And so, we've done some amazing things like very, very quietly, we've upgraded our entire core platform that our food business runs on globally, right? Upgraded that platform, which really puts us in a position to compete with all of the large global players on the food and consumer goods businesses, right? And so, those are just some of the things that we've been doing. I know, and not everything is like on a headline and, you have to go out and make a lot of noise, but there's a lot of infrastructure work that has been happening, on the financial group side. And we have gone out and, 5 years ago, when I took over our insurance division, we did not have a life and health business. Okay. And today in Jamaica, the Canopy is an amazing growth story that has everybody involved, or it's a partnership with the Muslim Group, and everybody involved is so proud of what we've been able to achieve. We've been able to get market share, significant market share in the health insurance space in Jamaica. That market was dominated by two people, and we came in and really made a push. We have an amazing book of clients that are extremely happy with the services that we offer. And then we went out, and after the success of Canopy in Jamaica, we went out and acquired Scotia's life insurance business in the Eastern Caribbean and in Northern Caribbean. And so, now we have a life insurance business that is operating in multiple markets in the Caribbean. And why is that important? Because we believe that is also a platform again for us to build out and to grow. And so I just gave you two quick examples of things that may have gone under the radar, but I'm
Hmm.
telling you, if you're a shareholder in Grace Kennedy, which it sounds like you are, you should be very proud about the work that the team is doing under the leadership of our current CEO, Dan Webby.
Mm. Yeah.
True.
No, what I really like about Grace Kennedy, I do like the 2030 vision, but even you guys, your share buyback.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people, your share buyback in terms of how many, I like that you guys say, okay, we're having this target and you are actually actively buying
Yes.
quite amount of good amount of shares on the market. And I think that's pretty smart because you see that 2030 vision. Some people on the market may not say, okay, what level of growth that's going to be for Grace Kennedy. But if you do the multiples, you do the math, it's a significant jump. And you've even pointed towards the fact that, okay, yes, you're going to do some organic growth, but you're going to have to do some inorganic growth. So there's going to be some likely major acquisitions. And you guys have also mentioned trying to list on an overseas stock exchange. That's another huge deal because, you know, the amount of money that you guys could access is going to be massive for something like that.
Absolutely.
And I know like a lot of people on things like Wall Street, and you even mentioned you have connections with investment banking in the US. So there can be that synergy there that you can say, okay, we have these deals, we want to acquire this company, we want to do this. And I definitely see that, you know, Grace Kennedy is probably one of my, I'd say it's probably one of my favorite blue chip stocks.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it at this. Our CEO always ends every one of his speeches with Grace Kennedy. He says, the best is yet to come. So I'll leave you with that one, guys.
I love that. I love that. I have to agree with Matthew right there with the share buyback. Not a lot of companies do that, especially when their stock is undervalued. Because right now the PE is around 9, and you guys have been buying back. You know, not a lot of companies have been doing that, and it's not really to us as shareholders. Well, to us as shareholders, it's a positive. It looks very positive for us. It says that you guys have a vested interest in the stock price, and that's what a lot of us investors really and truly do care about.
Yeah, no.
And the
I
management owns a lot of shares too.
No, yeah, we you know, we are the management, that we're shareholders, and I think any, you know, good program for leadership within a public listed company should have the management aligned with the shareholders. And I think Grace Kennedy has always been a big believer in that from its inception in you know, in 1922. They've always believed in shareholder in employee interest in the company, right? And then as it relates to like to buybacks, I mean, I would just say that, you know, we've been operating in an environment with high interest rates. You talked about that macroeconomic environment and what that generally does for stocks. And I think that kind of environment makes people make allocation choices that maybe move away from stocks, and that may hurt earnings multiples. And so you know, some companies may decide that that buybacks are a good tool to ensure that they consistently create value for their shareholders. And Grace Kennedy has certainly been one of those companies.
Hey, excellent.